What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now PS Edition. I'm Alex. This video I want to talk about Destroy All Humans, so Destroy All Humans Remake, and talk about when we can expect to see it. So kind of the same thing we did maybe the day before, maybe a few days ago with SpongeBob. I kind of want to do the same thing because these games, to me, in the same exact boat, honestly, as each other. I believe they're both in the THQ kind of remake phase, but this game was supposed to be, or at least from everything that we've heard, early 2020. So it's a little bit more difficult to predict, or to I guess this is more of a situation where it's like what exactly is going on with it, where SpongeBob was like, well, there was a leak that it could be late May and then maybe not, and then I guess it's still said that it's summer 2020, whereas Destroy All Humans didn't really have ever, I don't think, had like even a release window, although like early 2020 is technically a release window. But here we are in March now, so we're in the third month of the year, and again, this is kind of a situation like SpongeBob, or really like I've talked about it with other games in the past here and on Podcast Now, like with any games where it's, you know, because we're this close, I get that this isn't a huge game. I understand that. You know, I've talked about like Ghost of Tsushima and why I believe like that one, that needs a release date relatively soon, right? If it comes out June, July, August, you'd still want that release date out there so people can pre-order. Pre-orders are still very important to developers. People can get really, really hyped for it. Destroy All Humans, it's not the same thing, right? It's a smaller scale. You're mainly doing it. You're mainly like having it put out to the people that probably played the originals. I absolutely adored these games growing up, so this is a game definitely up my alley that I would love to play. But you're really, you know, the group of people getting this game, I think, are a lot smaller than like a huge, you know, a first-party game like Ghost of Tsushima, taking so many years, right? And very important to both Sucker Punch and Sony. So I get it. I'm not saying like, okay, well, if the game releases in a couple months, you need to have but you know, I don't think it can release like in March if the release date's not given. I feel like even for a small game, and this isn't, I guess this is kind of in the middle, because I wouldn't say this is like an indie game, but I wouldn't say this is like a massive thing like Cyberpunk or Last of Us, or or even like, I guess I wouldn't even put it in the same category as like Doom Eternal, right? There's some games that are just a higher level, but again, it's not an indie thing. It's not like you can just say, hey, here's the trailer for it, here's like a PlayStation blog, here, you know, here's a couple write-ups on it, and the game releases this upcoming week. I don't think it's that game. I feel like you want to give people an okay, I was going to say good, I mean, it depends on what you think of as good. I think you need to give people an okay amount of time when this game comes out. So I feel like March is out, and because we're doing like a predictions kind of thing, I feel like March doesn't really make a lot of sense, because at this point, you know, you could put it out like that last week of March, but even a game like this, the goal for any game is to make money, and you look at the end of this month, it's very, very packed, and you even look at the beginning of April, it's very, very packed. So if I were this game, I'd honestly come out late April, early May. That would be the time that I would do it. To be honest, it kind of, like, I don't know what about it feels like it like kind of is supposed to be in that spot, but when I say it, I'm like, yeah, I could see Destroy All Humans releasing like late April, early May. It's kind of like that late spring, early summer. I don't really know what about it feels like that, but I do think putting it all together, you could have a release date announcement at some point this month, and then it would give people month and a half, depending on how long, or when exactly the game is coming out. But I think that would work. I really do, and I think that it puts it far enough past games. Like even early April is filled with games. You know, Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil 3, and then even the end of the month is Predator Hunting Grounds, which isn't really in the same area as Destroy All Humans. Like, those two games aren't exactly made for the same people, I would say. I don't really think that provides that much competition to it. So I feel like you'd be safe with late April, early May. I mean, Cyberpunk's gone, Avengers is gone. So I mean, there's literally nothing besides Predator that I know of, at least up until The Last of Us in late May, which I don't think you would put it. And I don't think any game will really come out anywhere near close to Last of Us. So I don't think it's that far off. I think that it's a little strange that you say early 2020 when in reality it seems more and more likely that it's at least, like, I don't know, what do you consider mid 2020? You could have just said spring, because spring is normally like that April, May period, maybe even June if it stretches out that far. So I mean, there is, there is some flexibility possibility there, but I feel like within the first half of this year, we will be getting this game. I just don't necessarily love the strategy. I mean, again, if you think about it, THQ, they're in charge of remaking both of these. It's been a little spotty. I mean, they're both like something that people have asked for. They both absolutely look amazing, so I'm not like faulting the quality or the work in it, but the way they've handled talking about them, I feel like I mean, yes, they are appearing at like PAX and places like that, so that's fine, but I feel like they could have done a little bit better with I guess more of like an area of like, okay, here's when you can expect to see it. But, and also, another thing you have to think of is, does SpongeBob affect Destroy All Humans? Because, yes, they're not the same game, and they're not even close, but, again, they're the same company. They're the same company, at the very top of it, so you don't necessarily want them to intervene with each other. So SpongeBob is that summer thing. We just talked about that a couple days ago. I talked about, remember, either late May, I think, or maybe, like, late June. So if you do that, then do you then do Destroy All Humans in early May, or does Destroy All Humans get pushed? Like, is something going on there? I feel like, again, late April, early May would be my prediction for this game. But guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Are you excited for this game? Did you play the originals when they had come out? When do you think this remake is going to be released? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And I do a new video every single day on this channel. I'll be covering Destroy All Humans when it releases and when we get closer to it as well. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you on tomorrow's video.